Hello, welcome back to my channel. Look at me making a upload not long after my last upload. But yeah, so as you can tell by the title, today I'm going to be making a video about 24 things that I've learned at the age of 24. And I am not 24 yet, but I'm going to be 24 this year, and we are in 2024. So you get the point. Okay. I was gonna use these little things, but I don't even, does this even connect to the camera? Okay, whatever. Anyways, yeah, so yeah, you get the point. Of course I have no makeup on because I don't wear makeup every single day. I'm not one of those girlies. But yeah, so let's just jump right into it. Like, literally jump right into it. So coming in at number one, people are jealous of you, and I know how that might sound, but people really are jealous of you. Growing up, I had the type of moms, and I think that a lot of us had the kind of mom that told us that anytime someone was mean to us or like didn't want to be our friend or just whatever, like that they're jealous of you. And growing up in school, anytime I had any kind of problems with any girls, and I would go home and tell my mom, it was always, oh, they're jealous of you, they're jealous of you. And growing up, I mean, I wasn't the most confident person, like especially throughout my teen years, due to just like trauma and stuff. I wasn't super confident. And I would always think like, people are not jealous of me. And you know, it's crazy because people who, like, there would be girls or just people that to me, I'm like, they have more money than me, or they have a better life than me, or they have what I feel like I don't have. Like, what would there to be jealous about? What would there be to be jealous about? But it's crazy. People really, at my grown age, I have come to realize people really do be jealous of you. And it could be anything. It could be literally the way you dress. It could be your personality, your character, your talents, like, and you could look at them like, dang, like you have it all, or you're beautiful yourself, like why are you jealous of me? But people really do be jealous of you. So don't be naive to that, and you need to catch it, because if people are jealous of you, you need to distance yourself from that person. And it could be family, a friend, even boyfriends, like literally your spouse can be jealous of you. And you need to learn to sorry, my dog just started tweaking out right now. You need to learn to discern that and remove it, because that energy is just not, you don't need that energy in your life. You don't want anyone around you that's going to be envious of you. So yeah, that was number one. Your mom was right about people being jealous of you. They really do be jealous of you. And number two, your body is fine. I don't care what your body looks like. Your body is fine. And me personally, throughout my life, again, I wasn't always the most confident. I wasn't the most confident person. I definitely have struggled with body dysmorphia. I literally, when I was in 8th grade, I used to think I was so fat, and then looking back at the pictures, I was like a twig. Like, girl, what did you think was fat on you? But I swear I would look in the mirror and think that I was fat. Even like when my body looked its best, and now like that I have pretty much a mom body after pushing out a baby, and I look back at my pictures when I was super fit, and you know, I was at my prime 21, and I look at those pictures and I'm like, oh my god, my body was literally so nice. Granted, I did work for that body, but even then, even knowing that I was working for that body as much as I was, and like, yeah, I just at that time really thought I was fat. Literally, I thought I was fat. And I don't know if it's just having a baby, because now I'm like, I know I'm not like obviously super, super overweight, but I have more weight on me than I did before because I pushed out a baby. And I'm only a year postpartum. But I think, I don't know, it's just that now I'm like, I think even I still do it to myself now, because sometimes I'll be like, oh my god, I'm like so fat, like a huge cow, and my boyfriend's like, no, you're not, you're literally not. But yeah, so but that is something that I've learned, is your body is literally fine, and you're gonna be stressing yourself out. And I've even seen, like, you know, some of my cousins go through it. Like, I think just as a girl, like, our bodies are picked at so much in the society, and I feel like you're literally, like, when you're a teenager, your body's not developed yet. Even when you're 18, 19, like, your body is not developed yet. My body from when I was 18, 19 was completely different from when I was literally 21, 22. And then you push out a baby. You push out a baby, oh, you're gonna get hips, and you're gonna get, you don't have a booty or boobs, you will get both. Like, pushing out a baby will change your body. But all of that comes with time, obviously. Your body is not going to stay in that little girl body from when you were like 15. So yeah, that was number 2. Your body is fine. Stop stressing yourself out and picking at yourself. I suffered with that a lot, and if I would have just had that knowledge sooner, I think I would have been way more happier and comfortable in my body throughout the years. Let's see, so I have a whole list on my phone. That's why I keep looking down. Number 3, your mom was right about those boys. Yeah. You know, when you're like young, you're a kid, or even when you're a teenager, my mom wasn't around when I did start dating, but like, you know, just when the people in your life are like, oh, don't focus on boys. Boys only want one thing. And, you know, just to not invest yourself fully in relationships, don't lose yourself in relationships, just don't be focused on boys. Because one thing, and this is not to bash men or anything like that, but or bash boys, but boys, okay, that sounds weird, but their brain is different than ours at every single age. Literally, as teenagers, even in your 20s, like, their brains just, I feel like, work differently. And girls are naturally more emotional beings. And not even just aside from all of that, just as a person, when you're a teenager, like, you really should not be in relationships. I honestly feel like that. Obviously, as a teenager, you're going to be in a relationship. You want to be in love. You think you found the person you're going to marry. I'm 24 years old, and now looking back at that time where I literally like devoted my teen high school years to being in a relationship, I'm like, what? Like, I was a literal child. Like, that is crazy. And it's just crazy. Like, it took me having a whole baby to really realize why your mom said everything that she said about those boys. Like, she was right. So yeah, just save yourself the time. Just try not to get in relationships or get super serious and involved super young. It's really just not worth it. And a lot of guys are the same. I'm sorry, I hate to be the one to say it, but a lot of guys are the same. And more than likely, whether it was your grandma, your brother, your sister, your mom, anyone that told you about those boys, they're right. So listen to them. And it's crazy because, like I said, it took me, I'm 24 or gonna be 24, had a baby, took me to this point to catch on. But I literally see girls who are my age or older than me who are still getting played by boys. And I'm like, have you not catched on to their games? Have you not, like, so that's what I'm just saying. Listen to me and listen to your mom or listen to whoever the hell was telling you about them boys, because they're right. And if you know what I mean, then you know what I mean. If you don't, then you don't. Okay, number 4. Don't buy something if you can't buy it 3 times and still have money left over. What do I mean by that? So when I started, you know, getting in my big girl bag and feeling like I was touching some money, I would literally be like, okay, I have this much to spend. Let me go, like, after paying my bills and stuff, which I feel like is pretty responsible, but still, I would go and like spend money that I should have been saving on like $1,000 purse or like $600 pair of shoes, and it's just like really not worth it. I feel like what was I even doing thinking that I needed stuff like that at like 20 years old, 21 years old? Where was I going? I lived in Stockton. Like, what did I really feel like I needed that stuff for? It was dumb. And a lot of times I found myself not having the extra money when I needed it for rainy days. So I just wanted to add that in there because I feel like it's really important when you start making money and you're a new adult and stuff. You might feel like you want to splurge on like a really expensive item. Not to say that you never should. I think every so often, yeah, obviously, but that's the point of why I'm saying unless you really have that money to buy it, and if you were to be able to buy it like 3 times, like you have that amount of money, then I feel like you should buy it. But I feel like if you're like, well, I'm gonna spend just all this money that I have this extra money, but literally if I buy this item, all that money is gonna be gone. Do not have that mindset, because I had that mindset and it messed me up really, really bad. So yeah, that was number 4. Number 5, learn discipline. I am still honestly learning this, but I have learned the importance of learning discipline. I wouldn't say I'm learning it. I feel like I struggle a little bit with being disciplined, but being disciplined, it literally will change your life. When you're disciplined on your eating habits, discipline on your spending habits, hence the number 4, disciplined on your goals, discipline on yourself. Like, have discipline where if you told yourself you're not going to go out and drink this weekend, but if a friend calls you and wants to go out and drink, no, you need to have discipline. You need to have discipline because you made that promise to yourself that you weren't going to do that for whatever your reasoning was. So yeah, have discipline. It's really important and it'll really change your life. And if you are wanting to become the best version of you, you will need to have discipline. Okay, so number 6, it's okay to be sad. So I feel like I grew up around a lot of people that made me feel like it wasn't always okay to be like super emotional. And I just don't think that's true. I really genuinely, and this is like literally, this is a video about things that I've learned personally. I've learned that like when you try to avoid the fact that you're sad about whatever it is you're sad about, it just stays inside you and it's gonna eat you up alive, and it's gonna come out in other toxic ways. So I feel like something I've learned is, and I used to do that. I used to literally try to work it away, like just working myself to the point of like burnout, just to not feel that sadness, or just partying a lot. Like anything you do, you're gonna crash and burn when you do that. So I've learned that it's okay to be sad and literally let yourself cry it out, girl. And I mean, like, I'll sit on my couch sometimes for a good hour or two just crying like a baby, and you know what, I feel so much lighter afterwards. And that was something that, like, you know, when I let myself do that, I realized that I'm like, I actually feel good that I really sat there and faced my emotions and cried. So man, I feel like I'm cramping really bad right now. So yeah, it is okay to be sad. Number 7, get rid of fear. Do not live in fear. Also, if you're a spiritual person, if you're close with God, if you have a relationship with God, fear is of the devil, okay? Do not live in fear. It will literally age you. It will stress you out way more than you need to be stressed out. You need to trust that God, the divine, is always going to protect you, and no matter what the situation is. And yeah, living in fear will literally, just like I said, it will ruin your life, and it's completely not necessary, because fear is just, it will hold you back from a lot of things. I feel like whatever you want to do in life, whatever you have going on in life, if you feel like scared of anything, scared to try anything, you have fear living in your body, and you really need to cut it out. You need to get rid of fear, because all it's going to do is disable you from the amazing things that could happen in your life. So yeah, I used to be a very fearful person when I was younger. Again, you know, a lot of these not so good traits that all of us carry from trauma and things like that. But when I made the decision to, like, you know, not live in fear anymore and really do the inner work, get close with God, and you know, to not live in fear, yeah, it really changes your life. It really, really changes your life for the better. So yeah, that's number 7. Number 8, be selfish. And I had to learn this through, how would I say it? Like, I had to learn this the hard way, and I feel like there has to be a good balance, you know? I think that some people have looked at me, and since I've learned how to be more selfish, people have called me selfish and, you know, have their opinions about it. But I mean, I feel like at the end of the day, again, I had to learn this from, you're gonna put yourself out there trying to help other people that don't even probably really want the help, and you're just going to literally bring yourself down trying to lift people up. And when you're in that space, a lot of time no one is going to be there to help you. But you know, obviously, like, I'm not saying be selfish and literally don't think about anyone and only care about yourself. I'm just saying, if it's to the point of like where you being selfless would affect you as a person and would affect what you have going on with yourself, and would affect your mental state, your emotional state, you know, that's what I'm saying. I'm not trying to say like to just like not care about anyone around you. But yeah, I've had to learn to put yourself first, be more selfish, and really just set your boundaries, really setting your boundaries. Okay, number 9, don't speak on it until it happens. Oh my gosh, I had to learn this the hard way as well. And you know what's so crazy is I always forget her name. I think her YouTube name's like Love Your Natural, which I really, really love watching her videos. If you've never watched her videos, you should go check her out. She had a video one time that literally changed my life, and I remember I was in my car waiting to start my shift at the UPS warehouse. I was at the time going to beauty school, Paul Mitchell, because I'm an esthetician, and yeah, I would just sit in my car sometimes if I got there early, which the parking was terrible, so I usually would try to get there like an hour early. I would sit in my car and just watch like YouTube videos or whatever, and I'm watching her YouTube video, and she has a whole video talking about that, like, don't speak on things until it happens, because there's just some universal law behind it that like it will not happen if you speak on it. Literally, when I learned that, I'm like, oh my God, I literally always speak on things before they happen, and then they don't happen. Like, it like clicked for me, and I'm like, I really need to stop doing that. So yeah, that's something that I learned. I literally will not, like, when I got my first apartment on my own, I didn't tell anybody. Even like I didn't tell my sister until the day I moved in. I literally did not tell anybody, because I was like, nobody's gonna ruin this for me. And you never know what people are thinking. Not saying that my sister would have thought anything. I'm just saying, like, you never know what people are gonna think. Even sometimes, you know, at that time when I did share with other family members that I was looking for a place, they started to, and you know, probably from their concern, but they started to put fear into me, where they're like, well, you can really afford to live on your own? Like, you think you could pay everything yourself? And I'm like, and then it makes you start to overthink, or it's just, again, that energy that's just not super positive towards what you have maybe in the works or what you have going on. So yeah, I had to learn, do not speak on anything, new cars, new jobs, new apartments, until you literally have that thing. Keep your mouth shut. Okay. Number 10. Whew, oh my God, it was 20 minutes in and we're barely at number 10. Okay, so number 10, live life. Live, laugh, love. I had to learn this. I feel like everything I'm like, I had to learn this, but you get it. Like, this is stuff I literally learned from personal experience at my big age. So I put live life because I can definitely be a workaholic, and when I was pregnant, I think really helped me learn to just like, I feel like live in the moment. Like that sounds really cheesy, but like in my mind, this was a result of being in survival mode for so long from my traumas. In my life, I felt like I had to literally always be doing something productive, literally always be on go, literally like, is this task going to benefit my goals, my end goal? And like, which is great. It's great to have that drive, but like every single day of your life, all day long. So when I was pregnant and I couldn't physically be overworking myself to that point, I literally would like cry. I would start to go crazy. And I learned that you just really have to like live life, literally. Like, and definitely having my son has taught me that. Like I'm slowed down more, and it's little moments with my son, with being at the park with him, and you know, little things with my son that I'm like, oh my gosh, like no, this is not like really, this isn't like helping me make money or building my career, but it's like, he's my family, and this is just like a moment that really is special to me. And yeah, so I feel like having my son really helped me learn how to do that. Yeah, and I don't know if it was just me who had that problem, if I'm just crazy, but yeah, I really did have a problem with just learning to live life and enjoy life. And yeah, I just try to really make that a priority now, versus just like hustle and grind. Okay, so number 11. Fast money doesn't last. And this, but what I mean by this is something that, okay, so I've like met people that they literally get themselves in a rut trying to make fast money. Even if someone's like, oh, it looks like you can make a lot of money doing lashes, I'm gonna do lashes, and then I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna do that. Nothing that is going to like, making fast money, not to say that maybe you couldn't get into lashes and start making fast money right away, but it's not going to give you longevity. And there was things that I just have noticed that if I got like a lump sum of money at the time, you don't cherish it, because to you in your brain, you're like, oh, like I got this so fast and I could just get it fast again. No, what creates longevity is when you know you worked really, really hard for the amount of money you have. You want to save it. You want to make sure that you're putting it towards something that really is valuable and that matters. So, and that's again what I was saying, like back to when I first started my business and stuff, things were a lot cheaper back then, and I felt like it was fast money, and I was also blowing it very fast because I had that mindset, oh, I'll make it back really fast. But again, I feel like when things started to get expensive and things are slowing down, and then, you know, I had a baby, so obviously I'm not working as much as I was, and just things like that, money was slower, so I learned a lot better strategies how to work with my money. But with that, I learned that fast money doesn't really last. You weirdly will do so much more with less money, because you want to be so much more smart with that money. So yeah. Number 12, love yourself. As cliche as it sounds, it's really important to love yourself. And I feel like you cannot strive in anything in life if you don't love yourself. And I think that, like, if I could go back in time to my younger self when I was a child and when I was a teenager, that would just be the biggest thing, is to like love yourself. Because if you love yourself, you will strive so much better in the world and in life and be so much more happier. It's so important to love yourself, and it's so sad that like a lot of people struggle with loving themselves. But But yeah, that's just like something that I definitely had to actually have a whole video on that, like a couple videos down. But yeah, it's something that I really had to work towards, and I didn't always love myself. But it's just really sad, and I feel like I wasted a lot of years not loving myself. And if I could go back in time, I think I would have made even better decisions. If I actually would have loved myself, I would have had better relationships, friendships, and yeah, if I would have just loved myself more. So loving yourself is really important. Number 13, you can't fill up other people's cups if yours is not filled. And it's crazy because I feel like I'm learning that in like a sense of being a mom, you know. Sometimes I'm like, okay, if I'm always on edge and always stressed out, I feel like I'm a little bit more like agitated with my son and a little less patient with him. So I do try to still, you know, even though sometimes I feel like everyone gets that mom guilt where you feel like you're away from your child or having someone watch your child while you're trying to do whatever it is that you need to do for yourself. You can have a little bit of mom guilt, but like you need to also look at it like you're benefiting your child because this is making you happier. And then you're gonna come back to your child and you're gonna be such a more fun, relaxed mom. And that's just with every relationship in life. You cannot help other people unless you help yourself. And again, love yourself. If you love others around you, if you love your family, you wanna help them, everything, like you need to love yourself. You literally need to love yourself. Okay, I had stopped the camera for a minute because I thought something was at my door. But anyway, so number 14, find what works for you. Okay, so there's a huge difference between when I was 20, 21 versus my age now, and then like I'm a mom now. So the old things that worked for me back then don't really work for me now because I'm a mom. And things are just different, as well as literally physically my body is different. And I can't really describe it, but like if you've had a baby, then you know, but like your body literally changes after you have a baby. So I've had to kind of like, I definitely used to beat myself up. Like after I had my son, girl, I took off a month of work. Like, are you crazy? But in my head, I'm telling you, I always had this mindset of like, go, go, go. You can sleep when you're dead. Like, always had this mindset, like this toxic hustle mentality, and also was very quick to get back into the gym. Literally, I don't even think I was supposed to be back in the gym by the time I was back in the gym, but I was. And I literally, like, I feel like I did hit a point where I crashed and burned, and like I had to learn, like, okay, that's not what works for me anymore because I'm a mom now and I have this baby. And yeah, so, and you know what's crazy is like my clients that I would try to like give inspirational talks to, that like, you know, if they wanted to lose weight and like they wanted to do this and that, but then they had like kids, the talk that I would give them, I'm like, you know, you still need to get up. No, what do you mean? You still need. Now that I'm a mom, I'm like, okay, well, that was not helpful advice, because coming from like a 20-year-old to 21-year-old who didn't have nobody to worry about but herself, obviously that wouldn't have worked for them. So my advice now would be to, regardless of your situation, I think you can always find a solution, and just find what works for you, and don't overdo it. Don't like, and you know, for me, my son's only 1, so I obviously cannot do as much as I probably can when he's like 7 or when he's a teenager. And so give yourself that grace and understand that. But yeah, so number 15, it always works out. You can do it. I feel like I'm being so repetitive. I feel like I say the number, I say the thing, and then I feel like I'm like, what I've learned. But what I've learned is every single thing that I was so stressed out about, everything in my life, always ends up working out. It always ends up working out. And anything that scares you, like when I moved into my first apartment, even like getting my first like big girl car payment and stuff, like if it scares you, like good. Like, and I genuinely believe that God would not even put you in a position to gain access to certain things if you were not equipped to do it. And yeah, like just don't worry, everything's always gonna work out. I've literally had to learn that myself because I stayed in constant like, oh, what if I like get this and it doesn't work out, or what if I can't pay this bill, or what if like, and it always ends up working out. It has never once has it not worked out. So I feel like you just, again, I'm going back to the fear thing, like you're just living in fear for no reason because it always ends up working out. Literally, it always ends up working out. Like anytime I catch myself like overthinking anything, I'm like, okay, when was there a time that it really did not work out? And you know what? If it does really not work out, it just wasn't meant for you. Again, I feel like God wouldn't put you in a position for something that was not meant for you or a lesson for you. So yeah, that's number, I'm losing my spot because it's like 16. It's okay to relax. When I was pregnant, again, this is when I really learned this because I was just the type of person that always just felt like I couldn't relax. I always needed to be doing something. I always needed to be on the go. And like, we're humans, we're not robots. Like, it's literally okay to let your body relax and just have a lazy day. I feel like that's really needed. Like, I don't think that obviously you should do that every day, but I think that like, it's okay to let your body rest and like, just be more grounded with yourself. And, just don't have the mentality that you always have to literally be doing stuff. I feel like you need a lazy day, like a couple days out of the month. And like, especially as women, like all these hormones and periods and things we got going on in our bodies, like we cannot be like, go, 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 go. Definitely a man job. Yeah. So, okay, 17, understanding seasons. Which this is a very like spiritual thing, I feel like, understanding your season. A lot of like pastors and a lot of sermons that I watch will preach about this, and the importance of understanding your season is like something cannot, so actually let me say it like this, something could be for you in that season, whether it's a person, whether it's a job, whether it's a car. But it does not mean that in the seasons to come that it's going to be for you or that it is for you anymore. And I feel like that's a really important thing to walk around with, like that mentality, because if something that you like, let's say like you found your person in the beginning, like it was just so perfect and you literally felt like God gave you that thing, or it was something that you manifested or whatever. And then slowly it might be something that just isn't working out, or that you're like, I actually don't know if I want this, or you're just kind of confused because you're like, I feel like, why would God bring this into my life if this was not meant for me? But again, maybe it was meant for that season, but it was not meant for other seasons. So I think that when you have that understanding, you could really, really relax about a lot of things. And I think that understanding alone can give you closure on a lot of different things. Yeah. So, 18. Be humble. It can happen to you. Girl, I'm a Leo. So, we have a lot of ego. And I had to learn for the 100th time. Actually, which one are we on? For the 18th time, I had to learn. Be humble, because it can happen to you. And I don't care what it is. Girl, I used to always say, oh, I'm never going to be a baby mama. I'm never going to have a kid. I honestly used to say I'll never have a kid. And I'll never go through certain things that I definitely did go through. And yeah, like I just feel like anything that you're overly cocky about, be careful. Especially, I feel like especially if you're a spiritual person, God doesn't want you to be like that. So he's going to give you lessons it's gonna make you better. It's gonna suck, but it's gonna make you better because he wants you to be more humble. And I think that like, obviously like have your confidence, like know you're that girl, but then it's like, don't just overly think that you're like just better than the next person, or that it won't or can't happen to you, because it definitely can. So yeah, that's number 18. Number 19, the positive things do matter. When you take the initiative to, okay, today I'm going to work out, and I'm also going to read a couple pages out of a book, and I'm also going to eat a pretty healthy meal. You're literally like raising your vibration, and that matters. Doing positive things matters. And it adds to having a positive mindset, and it literally just brings in positivity into your life. So if you feel like you're trying these little things and you're not really seeing a difference, it's like, give it time. Definitely give it time. But positive things do matter. And also, every single day, if you're just like, oh, it's okay if I don't do it. No, you need to really make time. Like, every day you should sit back and reflect and be able to think of something positive that you did for yourself throughout the day. And then, so number 20 actually ties in with that, because I had said that the negative things do matter. So if you feel like, okay, well, I'm just gonna get like blacked out drunk today, and like, it's okay. I feel like that, like, I'm not saying I don't ever do that, but I'm saying like, it does matter. The negative things and the positive things that you do, it does matter to your vibration, to your mind, and to your life. And I think that like having that understanding, I feel like sometimes when I do drink, I'm like, oh my God, like, why did I do that? Like, instantly regret it the next day. And, even if I choose to sleep in and not go to the gym, I instantly regret it throughout the day. But when I choose to like let's say if I do have self-control where I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna drink today, I feel better about it. If I choose to get up and go to the gym in that moment, yeah, it's hard, but I feel better about it. And I think that like, don't always cave into what your flesh wants. Know what is best for you spiritually and emotionally and mentally. But yeah, don't ever sit there and think that like, oh, I can do all these little unhealthy habits and like, it doesn't matter, because it does. It really does matter. 21. Oh my God, we're almost done. Okay, 21. Think of what you really want and understand that it can happen. And this kind of ties back to, I don't know what number it was, but basically just about not worrying and not overthinking. And I think that like, it's crazy. Literally everything that I ever just popped in my mind and that I'm like, okay, I want to do, like, and I still have things that I want to do that I haven't done yet. I'm like, okay, like I have the understanding now. I know it's gonna happen, because I literally have so many things that I've wanted to do, and when I stuck with it, like, it literally happened. And I think so many people, like, I don't know why we're just like brainwashed to have the mindset that good things or what you want for yourself like won't happen, as far as goals and things like that. But it's crazy like how things really, like, once you set a goal and you're like, I want this to happen, like, even if it takes some time, like, it will literally happen. So if you're working towards anything right now, or there's something that you really want to do and you feel like you can't do it for whatever reason, or you're scared to do it, like, you need to just do it, because it's gonna happen. It will literally happen. Like, and again, I think that, like, if you have fear, which I used to be like, oh my God, what if I never get this? Or what if what if I'm crazy for thinking that I can really be this person or do this or make this much money? And then now that I'm like to the point where I once thought was impossible, it really taught me like, no, you could do it. You could literally always do it. Like, it's crazy. So number 22, wake up early. Waking up early is really, really important, and it will change your life. It will make you so much more productive throughout the day. I feel like when you sleep in, you're just literally sluggish throughout the day. And yeah, so I've just learned that actually benefits me a lot. And I'm a morning person, so I don't know if it's more easier said than done for me, but yeah, waking up early is really life-changing and really a good habit to pick up on. Number 23, God always answers. When you pray for things, you may not always think that like God is answering your prayers, but I promise you, like every single prayer that you pray, God will answer. And I'm gonna be so transparent. Like I think everybody goes through, everybody goes through times where like you literally get angry because you feel like there's something you're praying on and God just isn't answering your prayers. And sometimes, again, maybe it's not in your season, or maybe God does answer that prayer, but not in the way that you want it, because maybe in the way that you want it will not work in your favor. And nobody knows that but God. But you need to have the understanding that God always answers. And number 24, the very last one, God will always provide. And again, when you're living in fear and in the society we're living in, where like, I think that like it's like the society literally wants you to be like fear driven and to be stressed out about bills and everything that's going on. But no, you need to have the understanding that God will always provide. So stop worrying about bills, stop worrying like about anything financially, or just anything that you are waiting on, whether it's a raise from your job or just anything like that. Yeah, I had to learn that like God always provides, and kind of what I said a couple points back, but it always works out. It literally always works out. And there's been a lot of times like looking back that I'm like, I was so stressed out about this thing, and it all fell into place by the grace of God. So yeah, I think those are my 24 points. Those are all things that I feel like really have helped me a lot, helped me grow as a person, and helped me be more happy, and just really important things that I feel like everybody should have the understanding of. And if it resonates with you, cool. If it doesn't, again, I don't know what number it was, but what I said earlier, whatever works best for you. You know yourself, you know your body, you know your feelings in your brain, and blah blah blah. So yeah, I feel like do what works best for you. Hopefully you can take something from this video. But yeah, thank you for watching if you made it this far.